The ocean looks calm from above, a flat blue promise. But beneath it, light collapses, and the world changes. At about 200 meters down, sunlight begins to fail. Colors vanish first. Red dies quickly, orange follows, then yellow, until almost everything becomes blue or black. This is the ocean's twilight zone. Not the deep sea yet, not the surface anymore. A vast middle kingdom, dim and restless, stretching to about 1,000 meters. We call it twilight because it never becomes fully night and never becomes day, just a permanent dusk. And in that dusk, shapes drift in and out of view. Eyes shine like coins. Jaws hang open, waiting. Bodies glow, then disappear. Monsters is a human word, a word for things that don't fit our rules. But down here, the rules are different. Pressure mounts with every meter. The cold settles in. Food becomes scarce, unpredictable. If you want to survive, you become something extreme. A fish with a mouth too large for its face. A jelly with a trailing net of stinging threads. A squid that flashes signals like code. And the strangest part is this. Many of these creatures are not hiding at the bottom. They are in motion. Every night, they rise. Every dawn, they sink. The largest migration on Earth happens here, silently, every single day. So why is this shadowed zone so full of uncanny life? What forces shape bodies into nightmares? And what, exactly, is moving in the dark just beyond the reach of our lights? We descend. The first thing you feel is the dimming. Not a sudden blackout. More like the world is slowly closing its eyes. In the twilight zone, vision becomes a gamble. There is enough light to cast silhouettes, but not enough to see details. That's why so many animals here are built for detection. Big eyes are common, huge lenses gathering scraps of blue. Some fish stare upward, watching for shadows against the faint glow above. Others look sideways, scanning for a glint, a twitch, a mistake. And then there are the bodies. Many are thin, almost delicate. Muscle is expensive in a place where meals are rare. So forms become minimal, designed to drift, to wait, to conserve. But don't mistake thin for harmless. A hatchetfish looks like a sliver of metal. A bristlemouth, small as a finger, carries teeth like needles. Together, their kind may be the most abundant vertebrates on the planet. Life concentrates here because this is where the falling food arrives. Every day, a slow snow of dead plankton, fecal pellets, and tiny fragments rains down. Marine snow, the ocean's leftovers. Most of it never reaches the seafloor. It's intercepted in this midwater, caught, eaten, recycled. So the twilight zone becomes a crowded marketplace built from scarcity. Predators patrol it like thieves in a fog. Prey becomes transparent. Others turn red, because red light doesn't exist down here, making them nearly invisible. Camouflage in the twilight zone isn't about blending in with coral or rock. There is no background. It's about vanishing in open water. But the true signature of this realm isn't eyes. It isn't teeth. It's light, cold light, living light, bioluminescence. And once you see it, you can't stop seeing it. A flash, a pulse, a slow green shimmer like a distant city at night. In the twilight zone, many animals make their own light. Not for beauty, for survival. Bioluminescence is chemistry, luciferin and oxygen, sparked by enzymes. No heat, no flame, just photons released into the dark. Why glow in a place built for hiding? Because light is a language here. Some use it to lure. An anglerfish's beacon is famous, but mid-water hunters have their own tricks. Tiny glowing organs that draw curious prey close enough to grab. Some use it to confuse. A sudden burst of light can startle a predator, buying 1 second, one life-saving second, to escape. Others use light as camouflage, counter-illumination. A fish shines light from its belly to match the faint glow above, erasing its shadow. A living invisibility cloak. And then there are the signals. Species-specific codes, blinks and pulses that say, "This is me. Find me. Don't eat me." Or, "Come closer." In the darkness, communication becomes a problem of precision. A wrong flash could invite the wrong visitor. And visitors are everywhere. A siphonophore drifts past, part animal, part colony. A living chain of specialized bodies, each doing a job. Feeding, stinging, reproducing, propelling. It looks like a single creature, but it's an assembled organism, a floating city. A comb jelly appears like glass, rippling with rainbow bands. The color isn't pigment. It's physics, light splitting along rows of beating cilia. Beauty that exists only because of how it moves. But the Twilight Zone is not just a gallery of strange forms. It is a battlefield, fought with stealth and timing. Because every night, the entire system shifts. The monsters don't just live here. They travel, up toward the surface, into danger, and back down again. The reason lies in a single idea. Fear. Night falls at the surface, and the Twilight Zone stirs. From the darkness, millions, billions of animals begin to rise. Lanternfish, krill, squid, tiny crustaceans. A living elevator. This is vertical migration. The daily movement of life up and down the water column. It happens because the surface is rich. Plankton blooms there, fed by sunlight. Food is easiest to find near the top, but the surface is also exposed. A bright arena for hunters with sharp eyes, tuna, dolphins, seabirds. By day, the risk is too high, so the migrants hide in twilight, then climb under cover of darkness to feed. And before dawn, they drop back down. A rhythm older than our cities. A pulse that moves more biomass than any other migration on Earth. And it changes the planet. Each night, carbon is eaten at the surface. Each day, it is carried down in bodies, breath, and waste. The ocean's biological pump, helping lock away carbon in the deep. So these monsters aren't just strange. They're part of Earth's climate machinery. But migration has consequences. When everything moves, predators follow. Some fish patrol the boundary like wolves at the edge of a herd. Some squid rise like knives through the water. And in the middle of it all, the light show intensifies. Flashes, decoys, counter-shading, signals. It's not random sparkle. It's constant negotiation between being seen and staying alive. There's a moment, mid-descent, when your lights reach farther, and then suddenly don't. Because your beam hits particles, snow, drifting life. The ocean becomes a blizzard. The Twilight Zone is not empty water. It's thick with bodies too small to name. And then, something larger passes through the edge of the frame. A shape that doesn't reflect much light. Only a faint outline. A mouth. Then nothing. Down here, monster often means this. A creature you barely detect, until it decides to interact. And we are still learning who is actually here. For centuries, this zone was a blank on our maps. Even modern sonar was fooled. Early instruments saw a strange, deep scattering layer that rose at night and sank by day. At first, scientists thought it was the seafloor itself moving. It wasn't rock. It was life. A hidden continent of animals, hovering in the water. But counting them is still hard. Nets miss the fast ones, shred the fragile ones. Cameras see only what the light reveals. And many species avoid our machines entirely. So the Twilight Zone remains one of Earth's least measured ecosystems, even as it may hold enormous biomass. And what we don't measure, we tend to underestimate. This matters because humans are starting to look here with new hunger. Midwater fish could be harvested for protein and fish meal. But remove too much, and you may weaken the biological pump. You may change how carbon moves through the ocean. You may shift the balance of oxygen and nutrients. You may rewrite the lives of animals far above and far below. Even noise matters. Sound travels efficiently in water. The ocean is filling with shipping, drilling, sonar. We don't fully understand how constant vibration changes a realm where many animals sense pressure and motion as much as light. And then there is warming. As surface waters heat, layers shift. Oxygen minimum zones expand in some regions, squeezing habitats. The Twilight Zone can become thinner, less space to hide, less room to breathe. This is why the monsters feel important. Not because they are frightening, because they are functional. They are infrastructure in a living planet. And still, despite our instruments, much of their behavior remains unseen. We don't know all their lifespans, their migrations, their mating signals, their exact roles in carbon storage. We don't even know how many species remain undescribed. A vast dusk, full of teeth and light and drifting snow. And behind it, a question. What happens to the Earth above if the twilight zone changes below? At the lower edge of twilight, near 1,000 meters, day becomes a memory. The last scraps of sunlight fade into a permanent dark, and the creatures that live here seem shaped by a different kind of time. Some wait with minimal movement, conserving energy for weeks. Some grow slowly in the cold, where metabolism is measured, careful. Some are gelatinous, nearly weightless, because flesh is costly and water is free.